Getting a flagrant foul assessed to her, which show that what happened here. I mean, if you look at the still frame, it looks horrible, but if you watch it in real time, it kind of looked like it happened accidentally. What do you think about this?
Well, you can understand how maybe the refs overlooked it and didn't see the foul as it happened. It thought just what you thought. But then when you slow it down, it's really hard to ignore. Look, Caitlin Clark is just an unprecedented, as her coach called her, a generational star. She's hitting threes. She's dishing the ball. She's scoring every single night.
It was supposed to be just another regular WNBA game. But within minutes, the conversation shifted from basketball to officiating, player safety, and the league's biggest star. Caitlin Clark took another hard hit during a physical sequence that many fans believed deserved a foul call, yet play continued without a whistle. At full speed, the contact looked debatable, but slow-motion replays immediately fueled arguments across social media, with countless viewers insisting the officials had missed an obvious call. The moment quickly became much bigger than a single possession. Analysts, former players, and fans all began asking the same question. Was this simply another officiating mistake, or part of a growing pattern surrounding the league's most talked-about rookie? That single no-call reignited weeks of debate about whether Clark was receiving enough protection on the court, and the controversy exploded far beyond the final score. But as criticism of the officiating intensified, one of sports television's biggest voices stepped into the conversation, taking the debate to an entirely different level.
I've often used the line, Shay, that I'll share with you, because I don't know if I've ever used it while you've been on the air with me. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. I've said that many, many times over the years. There is a flagrant level of resentment that exists when it comes to Caitlin Clark. And it has existed since she has arrived in the league. She is the cash cow. Just recently, a couple of days ago, I think, we saw her and another player, I think it was Alyssa Boston or whatever, we saw them be the top two vote getters for the WNBA All-Star game so far. Every time you turn around, there seems to be something.
As the replay continued circulating online, the discussion reached national television, where Stephen A. Smith argued that the league needed to do a better job protecting one of its biggest attractions. He said there appeared to be a level of resentment surrounding Caitlin Clark since her arrival and suggested the WNBA should embrace the attention she brings instead of allowing constant controversy to overshadow the game. Smith compared Clark's impact to superstar athletes who helped transform their leagues, arguing that successful organizations build around generational talent rather than letting unnecessary distractions dominate the headlines. His comments immediately sparked fierce debate. Some agreed that Clark has been subjected to unusually physical defense without consistent officiating, while others insisted the league should enforce the same standards for every player regardless of popularity. The disagreement spread across television, podcasts, and social media, with fans dissecting every angle of the conversation. But while analysts argued on the air, another story was beginning to take over the internet, and this one came with claims that were even more controversial.
Speak on the issue because they see more of it than I do, but with what I've seen, you are able to say 1 + 1 = 2. And there's been a level of resentment that has existed where I believe there's been a failure on the part of some people to appreciate the mantra of a rising tide lifts all boats. Ride this cash cow till the wheels come off. They did it in the NBA with Magic Johnson. They did it ultimately with Michael Jordan. You know, that's how you do this. You find somebody that just galvanizes folks and ingratiates themselves with the public at large in such a way where everywhere they go and whatever they do, everybody wants to watch. You don't resent that. You feed off of it to build your own.
Just when the officiating debate seemed intense enough, a wave of dramatic claims began spreading across social media. Posts started alleging that information connected to WNBA referees had been shared online, leading some fans to argue there was evidence of bias against Caitlin Clark. However, many of these claims remained unverified, and no official investigation confirmed the more sensational accusations circulating across the internet.
And I think that WNBA as a whole, that women's basketball as a whole, and some, not most, not all, but some WNBA players need to appreciate that and gravitate to that and grab hold of that and ride that wave to your own ascension, as opposed to resenting it and showcasing it the second you get an opportunity to, whenever Caitlin Clark is in your vicinity. That would be my advice. That's all I could say about that.
I didn't love that this happened not once but twice yesterday, where there was basically a no call. I thought Stephanie White did the right thing. She should have gone off. She needs to protect her superstar. That's her right. Completely.
Absolutely.
I also do think the league should probably review this. I don't have information on if they have started that process or not, but I think that maybe would be a good.
Even so, the rumors spread rapidly, with countless users revisiting controversial calls from earlier in the season and debating whether Clark had been treated differently than other players. The online conversation quickly became less about one game and more about trust in the league's officiating. But while the internet focused on speculation, respected basketball voices turned their attention to something far more concrete: how player safety should be handled moving forward.
How everything turned out for him, but this is not good when it comes to the referee's identity. Because I don't believe they had a script written for him. He was talking. This is how he felt for real.
All right, ladies, your thoughts just as the league continues to work through what many perceive as consistency issues, especially when it comes to games being officiated, Lisa.
Well, officiating is tough. I don't know if anybody's ever even tried to officiate. It's not the easiest game. It's one of the most thankless jobs you can do. But in this particular situation, I thought that the last official should have been able to catch that. I was actually watching this game and I was like, oh, wow. That was a bit much. So in that moment, I thought that the official missed the call. I'm not surprised that the league went back and fined Alyssa Thomas. But I think at the same time, it's tough to think that official would have missed that they didn't have a replay on it. That was tough to me. And I think overall,
Former players and analysts acknowledged that officiating a fast-paced professional game is incredibly difficult, but many also agreed that consistency has to improve. Several commentators pointed to the missed contact involving Caitlin Clark as an example of why replay reviews and better communication are so important. Others emphasized that every player, regardless of status or popularity, deserves the same level of protection from dangerous plays.
the league's got to do better. The officials have got to do better, but also players. Players have to clean it up. We used to play in a way that you protected one another. Yeah, I want to play physical. I want to play hard, but I'm not out here trying to hurt you. If I was out there for a loose ball and it was Renee down there, yeah, I'm going for the ball, but if I accidentally punched Renee or hit her in some kind of way, maybe the play goes on, but I help her up. I help her up, you know what I mean? Just out of the like, dang, my bad. You know, so I think that part is important too, the reaction. Maybe if Alyssa Thomas would have even turned like, dang, my bad, I didn't mean to hit you like that. It's a different thing, but that's not what happened. And so I think that the league got it right. But I think overall, Coach Tibbetts is correct. Everything, consistency is important. It needs to be cleaned up for all players, regardless of what their accolades are. None of that part matters. It matters about protecting these players, no matter which team, which position, when they sub in, the start of the game to the end of the game. Every player deserves the same type of protection.
The discussion also expanded beyond officials, with many arguing that players themselves share responsibility for maintaining respect on the court after physical collisions. Instead of focusing only on punishments, the conversation shifted toward creating a safer environment throughout the league. Still, fans weren't satisfied, and the growing frustration soon began raising questions about what all this controversy could mean for the WNBA's future.
Pro ruled out for Saturday. And Stephanie White did confirm that, by the way. And she's made several comments. It makes you want to puke throughout, but we're going to listen to them nonetheless. Let's go here. Right here.
I guess just first off, how is Caitlin after Wednesday? Do you have the update?
Yeah, she's okay. She's gonna be out on Saturday, but she's doing all right.
Do you have any indication right now of how long she will be out?
No indication. Obviously, it's a good time because we have all week next week, so we'll take this opportunity just to get her treatment, get her healthy, get her back on the floor, and see what happens. I mean, you know, it's the same thing. Long-term health and wellness is the most important thing.
Consider this precautionary. Like, is there any chance she could have played tomorrow? Or is there pain? How would you describe the decision?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, again, we want her to be healthy, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things, and I think it's important to remember, again, when you've gone through injury and the traumatic aspect of injury, especially that she had last year, it's ups and downs, physically, mentally, emotionally, and making sure that she's 100% ready to go is the most important thing, and her taking care of that is priority for us.
As clips continued going viral, passionate reactions flooded every major social media platform. Some fans demanded stricter discipline for dangerous plays, while others defended the league, saying physical basketball has always been part of the game. Reports of boycott campaigns and collapsing television ratings also circulated online, but many of the biggest numbers being shared could not be independently verified. What was undeniable, however, was the amount of attention the controversy generated. Every new interview, every replay, and every opinion added more fuel to an already heated debate. Sponsors, league officials, media personalities, and basketball fans all found themselves watching the situation closely, waiting to see whether the WNBA would respond with changes or allow the discussion to continue growing.
Just to send a message to the league and to the Indiana Fever, because, Kelly Krauskopf, the team president, came out and celebrated the one-game suspension and thanked the WNBA. Kelly Krauskopf, you're a coward. All right? So's Amber Cox. So's Stephanie White. At what point are y'all going to get angry and be like, one game is a fucking joke?
In the days that followed, attention shifted toward Caitlin Clark's recovery after the injury, with her coach making it clear that the team's priority was getting her fully healthy before returning to the court. Rather than rushing back, the focus remained on her long-term well-being, both physically and mentally. At the same time,
a one-game suspension is a joke. Alyssa Thomas should be suspended a minute. The appropriate response was anything between 10 games and the end of the season. Just get the bleep out of here. We don't need you. What in the big course of WNBA history and in Business 101, what is Alyssa Thomas to anybody? Nothing. Pond scum. But once again, you got this incestuous intertwining, leg scissoring amongst members of the league. I mean, hell, Stephanie White's her old coach, for Christ's sakes. Everywhere Caitlin Clark turns, it's agenda in her face continuously. This is Stephanie White on her having coached Alyssa Thomas previously.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I didn't see it in real time. And so when I went back to see it, I was surprised. I was more surprised that it wasn't seen by the officials in real time.
A 41-38 Fever advantage, Clark.
The controversy surrounding officiating continued to dominate headlines, leaving the WNBA under intense public scrutiny. Whether this moment becomes a turning point for officiating standards or simply another chapter in a highly emotional season remains to be seen. One thing is certain, every future game involving Caitlin Clark will be watched more closely than ever, and the league's next decisions could shape how fans remember this entire season.